Welcome to the third and last Skirmish video, and the final video of Battalion Wars 2 multiplayer. Vanilla Battalion Wars 2, anyway. The next map is called Donatsu Island. Donatsu meaning donut, I think. That's what the Google search turned up. Anyway, that is in reference to the shape of the island we're fighting on. This is another Solar Empire versus Legion battle, and according to the game, this is the very first battle of the Lightning Wars, which means it's not canon who the winner was, but we can assume that the Solar Empire won because they had to have gotten a head start in order to get the Lightning Wars started. Anyway, we once again have only one single anti-air veteran, and on this map there are two factories with artilleries in them. Artilleries, in my opinion, are a much more skill-based unit than light tanks, so that'll be fun to play with. In the very center of the island is an airbase which will give its wielder a gunship. Now, I don't necessarily think a gunship is going to instantly win you the map, compared to a bomber anyway. So this will be a much more interesting battle. We also have two flame veterans. I never liked them too much. Also, next to the barracks on these maps are a couple of anti-air towers. Those, I think, have a very decent range, and I like that sign. That sign is just cute. Anyways, to get to the airbase, you actually have to go for a little swim, which I don't like, because, as we all know, swimming makes you vulnerable. And I forget if we'll be seeing it in this recording, but it's also possible to get stuck on the polygon between the water and the hill, which is, of course, very bad. Anyhow, we've gotten control of the airbase first. Some Legion fellows are going to try and take control of it. I have no idea what my artillery is doing right now. I'm trying to kill his infantry. There was some lag on this map. I don't know if it's just this map, but it tends to lag just a little bit more. Still pretty manageable, though. Anyhow, here's a cool thing you can do on this map, and it's probably the reason I like it so much. If you're controlling the artillery... Oh, I've got to get rid of his MG towers first. If you're controlling the artillery, you can shoot directly at the flag, and if somebody's trying to capture that flag, or re-raise it, that'll take them out. This is very nice, and it probably is going to hit a couple more enemies, too. Very nice, in my opinion. This is a good, fun map that you have to make a plan for. Oh, but you've got to be careful where you shoot from because it might hit the polygons of the rocks instead of getting over the hill there. And as you can see, you can pretty much shoot blindly and you'll hit something. Now, if you're not controlling the artillery, you can still order it to shoot at stuff and it'll pretty much shoot accurately, I think. Of course, the AI isn't going to be active about shooting at things without you commanding it to, because, you know, Battalion Wars 2 artillery AI. And, wait, he didn't have his factory until now? Huh. I guess that's what you get when somebody has never played this map before. They don't know where the factories are. So let's go ahead and destroy his artillery with the gunship. But, oh, he's got his anti-air working for him. And I could rush in my gunship and destroy it just like I did back in Border Patrol, but I think he's a little more skilled with an anti-air veteran than he... Well, he's controlling his artillery, so that has to be an AI anti-air veteran. And if controlling the airbase doesn't strike your fancy, you could always try and take out the enemy's factory. That's probably going to be harder, but that seems to be what he's trying right now. His artillery is coming this way. Artillery duel! This is way more impractical than it looks. Artillery versus artillery while moving. Managed to get one last shot off. Both of us get the enemy player bonus. That is so amusing to me for some reason. Your factory has a couple of auto guns next to it, of course, as if those are going to stop bazooka veterans. And he's trying to get rid of me with his flame veteran there. And why did I decide to shoot at him with the anti-air veteran? The thing about this map here is that if you control the airbase, then your anti-air veteran is useless, because the enemy can't spawn a gunship. Looks like he's trying to take control of the factory, but I can just call my gunship over. Should have shot it down first. I forget what the respawn rate for the gunship on this map is, but it's probably long enough that you could, you know, take control of the airbase or something while it's trying to respawn. That'd be a nice thing to try. Oh look, his artillery respawned. Let's shoot at it again. I'm not too keen on using bazooka veterans on any unit that isn't an armored vehicle in multiplayer due to the lag that might happen, but they seem to be doing okay. Yeah, they did well. And now we can take a shot at them before they even get close. This is what I love about artillery units. I wish more maps had artillery units. There's only, like, 3 multiplayer maps with artillery in them, which is a crying shame. Of course, the MG tower decides to pick the wrong target there. But I'm still alive. The artillery hasn't caught on fire yet, but it's probably going to as soon as this bazooka hits it. Yep. Other than Melee, this is one of my favorite skirmish maps. This is the one I get the most enjoyment out of because there's a lot more to it than just taking the airbase and then holding on to it. You have to pay attention to your factory as well. Now, if only it wasn't possible to get stuck swimming, and if only you didn't have to swim to get to the island, then it would be a much nicer map, because there wouldn't be any problem with it. And the glitch is probably the only thing that stops this from being, well, the glitch can happen at random, so I don't know why I ordered my flame veterans to attack that artillery, though. Since the artillery can't actually get onto the airbase, I usually just have my bazooka veterans guarding the factory, and everything else goes to the airbase except for the anti-air veteran if I'm not controlling the airbase. And we can see that I think an enemy was trying to swim to the island there. Yeah, he's trying to swim. That didn't work out in his favor. I just wish swimming didn't leave you so vulnerable. It's really awful. The swimming controls aren't even that decent either, and I'm pretty sure diving under the water doesn't really do anything to help you avoid getting shot. Oh, they're trying to go through the island to get to the factory. Well, why wouldn't you take the airbase while you're at it? Oh, now they're trying to take the airbase. But there's only 1 minute left, and this is pretty much a guaranteed win for me. It's kind of funny that the only 2 maps that I like from skirmish mode at the end of the day are the ones that take place in flashback settings. So now we can re-raise our flag. And, you know, this guy ought to know that trying to take a facility with 1 unit at a time almost never works. He should probably wait for all of his guys to respawn. And why isn't he shooting at me with the artillery? Well, maybe he doesn't know how to play this game yet. I noticed he had a 0-0 win record, soon to be 0-1. Yeah, I got this. So that's Donatsu Island. Pretty interesting map in the end. It just has a few things that I'd fix, and I don't think I can fix the swimming glitch, so guess I'll have to do something about that map in the future. I'm gonna have 0 air units destroyed, I bet, because he never managed to take the airbase. It's pretty exciting if you can manage to get a contest for the airbase going, but that didn't happen here. The final map of the game is Battle Stations. Gee, I wonder what unit we're going to use in this map. Unfortunately, Battle Stations is yet another one of those maps where I wonder were the designers using their heads when they were making it? Because there is one very obvious issue with it that is going to present itself in just a moment. Oh yeah, we're also being commanded by Ghost Gorgie. Just, why? Why do we have to do that? Why do we have to put Ghost Gorgie in a map? I don't know why I don't like Ghost Gorgie at all, but anyhow. We've got grunts, we've got bazooka veterans, and we've got gunships to start with. Notice that we don't start with any form of anti-air ordnance. This will not be a problem in this map. There are 2 factories, of course. Capturing them gives you a battle station, big surprise, and an anti-air vehicle. Finally, they're using the vehicle for this mode. Eliminate that Exylvanian ape. Okay. The grunts and bazooka veterans are almost universally useless because they can't do scrap against a battle station. I don't know what they were thinking. I also don't know what they were thinking when they decided to start both players with gunships and no anti-air veterans, because you know what you can do with gunships? Well, you can get an easy first strike bonus, and you can eliminate all of the enemy infantry as they try to capture the factory on their side. And what am I getting shot by? Maybe that was just the other gunships missile. Yeah, that's probably what it is. So anyway, yeah, the big issue with this map is that you can destroy all of the enemy's infantry and keep them from taking their own factory. Or you can at least delay them. I don't always manage to keep them from taking their own factory completely, because usually they just wind up taking it, or the gunships or the other player figures out what I'm doing and just decides to smash my gunship with his, which is probably what he would have done if I'd stuck around. Anyhow, we have a battle station now. And I can pretty much just camp at my own factory and win. Here come the gunships. The anti-air vehicle is way better at taking them out. Glad they finally decided to put that in this mode. But if it weren't for that problem at the start, I guess this would be a pretty okay map. They really should have just made the factory yours from the beginning. I mean, like, if you can do that with air bases and barracks. And speaking of which, I'm checking the map again to see where he is. Look at the design of this place. Notice that the barracks and air base are like way far away from the factory, which is where I think anybody would want to camp so they can guard it after they've gotten their battle station. They'll want to keep the flag from falling into the enemy's hands. So they could, in theory, if any of my grunts or bazookas were dead at this point, they could, in theory, spawn camp by just parking next to the barracks and destroying the infantry as they spawn. Oh, of course, I would probably catch on to this fact and go attack them. But again, you know, I think they just wanted to make a map with a battle station in it for fun. And I have to admit, what are they even doing right now? Well, I can shoot at them with the battle station's artillery-like range. Oh, goody. Battle station versus battle station. At last, our 2 armies will meet. Battle station to battle station. That's my Kaiser Vlad impersonation. So, of course, you'll want to take out the anti-air vehicle first, not like what I tried to do here, which was go after the battle station first. And now it's up to my infantry to carry on the rest of this skirmish here. Until the gunships respawn at any rate. Of course, they're retreating now. And I decided to bring out my anti-air vehicle so I can either... Oh! You know what? That's another thing, too. I just realized. Even though you don't own the factory from the beginning of the map, there are still RPG towers and MG towers around it. Like, why are they there if players don't begin the map with the factory under their control? Oh, that airbase is actually quite a ways away from the barracks. Now I can take them and, what are they doing here? I'll make a bit of a mistake here by trying to destroy this MG nest. That attracts the attention of the anti-air vehicle. It's probably going to shoot me down. It's going to get a couple hits. There is, of course, no way to repair any units without destroying an enemy vehicle to get its fuel can. And Gorky's quote for when you try to fly out of the map is the same both here and in Border Patrol, which I find interesting. So even though I'm not a fan of this map, it managed to provide an interesting game. I actually wound up behind for most of the map instead of ahead like I normally am. And that's interesting because this player has 1 win and 5 losses. He's nowhere near as skilled as I am in theory. But I do manage to turn it around by the end of the match, otherwise I wouldn't be posting this. Oh, this is a... I don't know what I was thinking here, but I decided to have the battle station come out on its own, and I just hit a gunship with a battle station shot. Am I good at aiming this thing, or what? Even though I locked onto the gunship, man. Anyhow, let's shoot down the gunships. I think I'm out of range. Oh, never mind. Now I want to order the gunships at the battle station, but the problem is... In fact, I'm gonna cite this as another problem with this map. If you lose your battle station and the enemy still has theirs, you know, you're gonna take a lot of damage. Your score's gonna take a lot of damage, that is. I mean, I can't really do anything about this battle station because of the anti-air vehicle, but, you know, that one is on me, because I'm the one who decided to send out the battle station on its own against an enemy battle station and gunships. If you decide to play this in the future, if they manage to get the custom server working, I'm pretty sure they did, don't take any of my moves and use them. My moves are bad, even though I have 4 stars. I got 4 stars because I know more about each individual map than most people probably do. And now I'm telling you all. And that's probably a clear indication of how far away the infantry on this map spawn from the factory and or airbase. Ain't that cool. I'm behind by 240 points, but there is still 1 minute left on the clock, and every second in this game counts. Never give up. Trust that the enemy is going to wad up all of their infantry into one huge blob for you to destroy them with. Which is precisely what the enemy decided to do here. First the battle station goes down because it's low on health, and then I shoot out the anti-air vehicle. And then I just blow up their entire wad of infantry in one go. Beautiful, I love it. Oh, his anti-air vehicle is still alive. Come on, hit it. He's good at dodging shots. Come on, come on. There you go. And now the infantry. Wow, winner by 10 points. That's probably my best comeback yet. Okay, so I'm going to win by a little more than 10 points, but there are only 10 seconds on the clock. So unless his battle station came out and shot me to death in one hit, yeah, I win. Vengeance is mine. And that is the end of Battalion Wars 2 Online. Next time, we take a look at the efforts that have been made to mod this game. Which is not much, because there's only really 2 people trying to mod this game. We can't do much with only 2 people who don't have very much knowledge of how this game works internally.